Laurent, thank you very much for being here at AI for Finance conference, the very first one in France about AI.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
And about AI focused on financial industries. And during all the afternoon, we had CEOs of major French banks here to share their vision about the impact of AI in finance. So once again, thank you. Well, when I say artificial intelligence, what does it mean to you as a CEO of one of the largest banks in Europe?
Well, first thing it says to me that I should have used AI to know that having a tie is not the appropriate way to dress yourself in an AI forum. But maybe we should invest a little bit more in this use case. No, globally, what it means to me is that it is a very in-depth transformation of our business, much more important, in fact, than the digital transformation has been. Digital transformation is on the way, on how we can exchange to our client, the relationship we have with them, and the interface of this relationship. When we talk about AI, and it's not only AI, it's data and AI. I think the two are very much related. We're talking about a real revolution on the way we will do our business tomorrow. So it's a complete change, and it's not something that you will do in 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, like you have a program to put yourself at the right stage. It's really an ongoing journey that will change drastically the things for us, both in terms of how do we address and how do we personalize the relationship with our clients, and two, how do we help our employees, and specifically the agency, the people that are facing the client, to be more informed and multi-specialist people in order to bring more value to our clients.
So finally, you mentioned that data and data analysis cross AI opens new opportunities. What are these opportunities according to you, and what are the benefits?
Well, the opportunities, first of all, is to make it very short, is through analyzing data and getting data and AI, we can have a much better understanding of the needs of the client and the ability to bring them and to be at their side at the right timing, and in order to bring them the right solution at the right timing. And at the same time, our advisor have the ability to bring them much more knowledge than they could they are doing today. Today, an advisor, a banking advisor, often use an expert in order to bring the right level of knowledge to the client. So that all of that is a lengthy organization. If you can be there at the right timing because you've identified the need of the client ahead of that, of the discussion, and you can bring the right expertise through AI, then you will be much more efficient in the way you will solve the problem of the client. You will have more client satisfaction, and you will have more sales efficiencies. So it's a complete change on the way we will manage the relationship of our customer. So yeah, it's a huge opportunity. And for banks, there's two things which are very important when we talk about AI. It's trust and security. Because and when you think about a bank, what is a bank? Some banks are even called trust. A bank is a place that you trust because of its security. The clients come to us because they trust us in our ability to manage their money. They trust us because they think that their money is safe to us. Well, we have to do the same thing on their data. They have to trust us on our ability to manage their data and to protect their data. And that's a key element of the move we will do. But I think we'll start with a potential advantage to that is that trust and vision of security for banks is there. But it means that we need to invest significantly.
It's clearly an asset and an advantage because few institutions in the economy can show this trust and the security for their clients, actually. So
well,
it opens
yeah,
opportunities.
but it's an opportunity, but you can lose it quickly. So that's why, to us, we view investment in cybersecurity as being a top priority, because you can only, I mean, number one of trust is how do I protect the data of my client? We've got huge amount of data of our clients, huge amount. We use very little of them today, but we have huge of them. The more we go, the more our systems are open, the more the risk is there. So we need to invest significant amount of money first in order to protect them, because this is the first request from our client. Make sure that their data is well protected. But then the trust will be, how do you use our data? And that's the second element, which is we need to use their data in a way that will help them having a better service, a better quality. And that's really what we need to demonstrate to them. And that's the clear, I mean, really the two things is security on how do we protect them, and trust on how we use data.
The data at the service of a client, finally.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot this afternoon, but when we think of artificial intelligence coming in banking industry, it's going to be a huge impact, upheavals, and finally, people, the regulators, but also people are thinking, what about the ethics?
Well, I think often in banks you talk about conformity to regulation, applying regulation. I think in this case, and in case of data and AI, how you use it, you have to put ethics above conformity. Because it's really a question not on following the rule that the regulator imposed to you, but it's putting that as the number one elements of confidence with your clients. And when we mention ethics, it's always difficult because ethics change from one country to the other and change with time. So and we know that the way people see the usage of their data is changing with time also. And we need to make sure that our level of ethics is changing with the need of our customers. But ethics is going to be at the heart of the success of company. I think that what will make the difference between the winning companies and the other are the one that will have the ability to have the higher trust with their customer, and that will be based on ethics. So ethics is really at the heart of it. And what is about ethics is, what do we do with those data? Mm-hmm. How do we use them? Do we sell them to other people or not? Do we use them? Do they see the benefit of the usage of the data for themselves and not for the benefit of the bank? And that's really what will be at the heart of it.
So finally,
so we will need to be very, very, very clear about it. And I think it has to. Ethics will be at the heart of any plan of a bank that want to use data significantly.
Finally, ethics by design in what you do.
Well, we will have to be a company that is built around ethics by design. Yes, I think it's.
Okay. One of the subjects that
and
we discussed.
It's not always easy. The view of banks and ethics is not always. I mean, on one side there's trust, but the relationship between banks and ethics has been chaotic in the past. So.
That's why it's important. And one of the subjects which is very important is that when we talk about AI and the impact of AI in the banking industry, it can people think, oh, AI will replace my job, or not finally, because AI is like accelerating people, and maybe we create an augmented banker. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's, first of all, AI generate a lot of worries and phantasma and so on compared to the reality. My view is that AI is there to improve the ability of our advisors to give the right service to the client. I'm fully, our value today is based on the client relationship, the personal relationship that we have with our clients, the personal relationship between an advisor and a client. And I think it is still and will stay a very strong advantage tomorrow. And I think that many of our customers, even if they've got great apps and they can do a lot of things by themselves, they look to have some time a relationship with a customer, with an advisor. What we need to do is make sure that this relationship is made at the right moment for the client. So whenever our advisor goes to the client, it goes at the appropriate timing in order to offer him the right thing. And two, that our advisor has the ability to be as knowledgeable as a client might be, because a client knows at the beginning what he wants. If our customer advisor doesn't have the ability to be augmented, well, then he's going to look like a little bit of an unuseful step in this relationship. And the only useful relationship would then be an expert. And I think this is a view of the past now. Our advisor should be day one, the day he sees the customer, the one that can give the right and the appropriate advice. And that's where AI will help us massively.
In banks. And maybe to conclude with a concrete example of what you do in AI?
Well, we do. I mean, we've got use case, significant use case that are started. We've got obviously many of them on the fraud part, because the more we go, the more we need to make sure that there's every digitalization allow more frauds, so we need to be able to detect them very quickly in order to protect our clients, and that is one significant usage of AI. But I can give you more example. We use, for example, we are using data and AI to make specific pricing for real estate mortgage, taking into account location, quality of the client, and local competition at one stage. But we will we do the same in order to predict the probability of a client resigning from a non-life insurance contract. Or we have what else? I mean, there's many. But
actually, all the business unit in banks will be impacted with AI.
Well, what we do is that we have 280 already identified use cases that have been.
That's huge.
Yeah, we don't implement all of them, so we go. And that's why I'm telling you, it is a long journey, and it will not finish. It's a true transformation. It's not something where you go and then you say, I'm state of the art. It will still, it's like, it's you're learning every day and you're inventing new things every day. So it's a very in-depth transformation of our business.
And a long term.
Very long term.
So finally, to conclude, the final word for the AI ecosystem, your vision for the future in AI in banking?
Well, I think it's AI will be at the heart of the banking success, and the good banks tomorrow or financial service companies will be the one that have this trust and security ability and will use AI efficiently in order to be successful. To do so, we will need many competences that are not there here, and many of them are linked to ecosystems that are not within the banks. And the relationship between banks and startups and a company that are developing use case or research or innovate about new usage will be very important in order for us to accelerate our development.
Laurent, thank you very much.
Thank you.